Silver propaganda, does it work? Yeah, I think it does. Actually, advertising actually does work pretty heavily. And once people bite on the hook with silver, when they see, you know, like one thing Jim Rogers said back in 2011 when it was going up really fast, he bought gold and silver before. Everybody realizes a good investment after they see the curve go up. So eventually, the silver propaganda is going to come into full play after it's too late. So you buy it now. Now, actually, I want to state something else with advertising and propaganda, actually. Maybe that's the same difference, right? You know, I saw something which I found to be pretty interesting. Was it Kimmel? I think his name was Kimmel, a comedian on I don't know, was on his shows and stuff. He took a ordinary Casio watch, $20 plastic Casio watch, and he put an Apple sticker logo on the back of it. And he started telling people, everybody, yeah, it was an Apple, and look at all the features. It's got the date, the time, the sweep second hand. You can set, you know, for stopwatch. And what do you think about this? What about the bat? And people loved it because it was Apple, you know. So the same deal is going to happen with anything once it becomes a niche product like hula hoops. And it's going to come that way with silver. Now, for my subscribers on this damn thing, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be unloading this stuff if I see it start going up where the mines are, you know, all the miners are making $250,000 a year or something like that. And, you know, that deal isn't going to work forever, you know. You're going to realize it's going to get too far ahead of itself at one point in time, not now. But, you know, I also should state, though, with silver, there's a couple of angles that, first off, these guys that are like this, you know, like Sprott's an investor. I don't know, I guess David Morgan's an investor or whatever they are, or an advisor or whatever they are. You know, in the case of Sprott, he's probably got the horsepower to do this stuff. I'm surprised he's not, and I said this on another video, I'm like, are you listening, Eric Sprott? You know, somebody's going to be paying attention to this, and they're going to grab the idea and run with it. But maybe they already know it. But maybe there's a caveat why it can't be done. But you know, if everybody bought some silver, it would make a major difference. Especially if they never sold it. You know, that's one thing. How do you get people to buy silver? Jewelry, right? Like this is a sterling silver ring. I don't know why it seems to never tarnish much. It never really. It's pretty thick, but they got this stuff called Argentium sterling silver. It's been out for a little while, but it's got, like, it's not like these thicker chains. It's got these really wimpy, thin chains. I don't know why they don't have it like in this stuff, you know? It's like you can't buy it in thick chains. It's only thin chains, little stuff, but it's got germanium in it. It's real sterling. In other words, instead of being 7.5% copper or something like that, it's got this germanium. And it never tarnishes. I mean, if you had the silver chain in salt water or something like that, it wouldn't tarnish. And silver has a much brighter luster than even platinum or anything like that, but you're getting it at a fraction of the cost. I don't know why they don't push this product in like really thick chains, like a 10mm or something like this, a thicker ring. And, you know, because once people buy that, you know, hey, it's mine, I'm wearing it, you know what I mean? It's off the market, right? That would actually be a cool way to get people into the stuff without them, you know, it's a way they can enjoy it. You know, in other words, hey, I got silver this, I got that. You know, silver's pretty because it's shiny, right? That's what they say, right? It's shiny silver. But, you know, it tarnishes. It's shinier than all the precious metals, but it tarnishes, even the sterling silver, right? Argentium sterling silver doesn't tarnish. Yeah, it's got this super luster like real silver, and it's a fraction of the price of platinum. I don't know why they're not pushing it in some heavy-duty products that'll actually take some serious ounces off the market. Because, like I said, once people buy jewelry or whatever it is, they don't. That's it. That silver's off the market. It's not going to be resold or something. They're not going to say, "Oh, I bought my silver chain and I got to go down here and try to trade it in because now it's worth this much." Most people just won't do that. You know, they just won't do that. So, I don't know. I think that would be a pretty good idea to explore. Now, the other deal with silver is that you can actually barter with it. You know, if we're going into these catastrophic times, like, I mean, the dollar's not going to zero, but there may be a lot more people bartering around for different things. I mean, it's not going to be like money, where you walk in your big box store, Walmart, Target, or something like that, and you say, hey, you got some silver coins, I'm going to go buy a whole bunch of groceries or whatever. You're not going to do that. But, you know, as far as bartering for different things you might want or whatever, that could be part of the equation. You know, it could be cash plus silver buys this. And if the silver's worth a lot more, like, you know, I got criticized a little bit because I was saying that I don't think silver's going straight right over 100 right away. I don't know if it is. I think the next big hammer point is going to be not too much over 50, maybe 65 to 75, right, in that range, right? But eventually it will go way over 100. And the thing is, when you got this barter potential where it's like part of the equation for buying something, hey, that's a deal. You know, like when you actually do your taxes, say for instance you won your the lottery, and you won, you know, $300,000 on a lottery, and you spent $50 on lottery tickets. You know you can't deduct those. You know you can't deduct those as part of your basis. You believe that? I mean, they have with gambling, like, I guess you might be saying you're gambling with silver in a way, but you know, if you're using it as barter, you know, it's like, hey, that's barter, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what the tax laws are on that, but I'm sure people are going to be worried about that left and right. You know, who the hell would know anyway, right? Anyway. But that's one of the advantages, because it's going to be something where it's not going to be the only thing that you can barter, but it's going to be a very recognizable thing that you can barter. So none of this eBay stuff or none of this online stuff, but, you know, face-to-face trade. That might be the deal. Now, like I said, you're not going to be able to do this with your big box stores or anything like that. But later on, if the price of silver goes way up, and say, for instance, you want to buy, I don't know what it would be. I really don't know. It could be anything, you know? You might not be dealing with a, you know, a store per se. You'd be dealing with an individual that has something and that you want. And you can barter with some cash and some silver. Because silver could always function as a part of cash. Even if we are forced to go all electronic someday, there's always going to be that barter equation. No matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at it. So there's ways around things. That's why you got to have silver, damn it. Because it's been age-old money. Age-old money for the common people, mostly. You know, as far as where it can go, you know, I've been seeing $1,000 silver, and it says you may laugh at that. Yeah, I do laugh at that. Well, I would not laugh at that if that was the price, because if we went to $1,000 silver, we got a catastrophic problem in the United States, and it would be so catastrophic that you wouldn't be thinking too much about silver. You know, we'd be probably in a totally broken down society, and you don't want that. I mean, I think silver eventually is going to go up. You know, actually, you know, maybe back in 2000 or something like that. Here it is, 2014. You know, it's, you know, nobody would have even expected silver to be even where it is now. You know, even at this $21. You know, even though it went up to 47, which was a bubble at that point, it was a bubble. That's not the final bubble. You know, the next one, I'm thinking 65 to 75. I don't know that, but it may be. But, you know, eventually, and I'm not talking 10 years down the road, because this thing's kind of like, even though we're looking at it every day, and it's not doing much, it stayed flat a really long time now. And it's staying flat longer than I expected it to. It's just when it takes off, it takes off. So, you know, last time it basically took off from $8 to $47 or $48. This time it might be from $18 to $70, $75. Maybe not 100. But then again, I don't know that for a fact. But either way, if you bought it now, you're not going to lose out as far as money goes. But eventually, it will go over 100. Easy. I think it'll be like 135 to 150. I think that's where it's going to probably stabilize at for a while. I mean, not forever, but, you know, for a while. It might be more like 2017, 2018, it might get up in those areas. But, you know, it always throws people for a loop. But like I said, the beauty of it is everybody recognizes what it is. And if it does seem to stabilize around over 100, that's a good potential for bartering with it, because people realize it's not like you're getting something that's, you know, can go down, you know, where it's like buying an electronic gadget or something like that. But marketing is everything. Marketing is everything, and you know, I wish they would. You know, if I was a bullion dealer or something like that, I probably would sell. I wouldn't even be selling bullion. I'd be selling probably the silver chains, where I'd be, you know, if I was a silver dealer or something, I'd be selling the silver Argentium chains, because this way people buy it. They, you know, even if they bought it high or low, it don't matter that much, because it's something they're always going to have. And once that silver is in the hands of those people, for the most part, jewelry stays as jewelry. That's the way it is. You know, you buy stuff that's golden jewelry from, it could be hundreds of years old. It's still the same. But in the case of Argentium silver, that's a new thing now. It's silver's the same thing, but putting the germanium in it with, you know, to make it sterling where it never tarnishes, that's a new thing. I'm surprised. I don't know how to manufacture this stuff. I mean, if I did, I mean, I'd be cooking this stuff out like cookies, because, you know, the way I'm looking at it is, no matter what happens in the markets, it's something somebody wants some chains or whatever the hell it is. You know, they could be wearing the ones around their wrist or something or whatever, and that would actually take the stuff off the market and be a good value forever, basically. Be a good value forever. But marketing on silver does work. The propaganda. The only problem is, when these guys push out their silver propaganda, they exaggerate so much, and they've been wrong so many times, and so drastically wrong. As a matter of fact, when they overemphasize, like say the market started going up to 24, say they did, you'd see 50 million in silver people out there talking about, hey, silver's going to the moon. As soon as they come out there like out of the woodwork, you know it's coming down. And to me, that's, when you're doing that, you're cheering it on like that, you're actually being irresponsible to the public. It's a smart investment, especially at these prices. And, you know, you want to advertise it, real facts. It's not all about the U.S. dollar and stuff. Yes, it's partly about the U.S. dollar. It's partly about the supply and things like that. It's partly about, you know, the unstability, possibly a long-term stability of the U.S. currency and all currencies in the world, all fiat currencies, yes. But, you know, it has other aspects to it besides, and the jewelry aspect is one that should be emphasized, especially in that new product, germanium, Argentium, sterling silver. And you know, to be more responsible about it, if you actually had people buy a lot of that stuff, you know, even if they never parted with it, they never used it as an investment, they'd still got something they would like and enjoy. And of course, we know all about the mystical properties of silver, where, you know, they say it's linked with the moon, it's linked with the goddess Diana of the hunt, and it acts as a multiplier of whatever gemstones you have. So if you have, you know, jade or something like that for healing, it helps healing. I don't know. These are like kind of like in folklore, but it makes it more interesting. You know, I mean, if they could stick an Apple logo on the back of a $20 Casio watch and it's convinced people this is the best damn thing in the world, you know, it's the newest, latest, greatest invention, I think the people with the silver could do a lot better job. I think I'm doing a pretty good job on it. And it's not just about pushing an investment per se, because I'm not working for nobody that's in the silver crowd. I'm just telling you straight up, it is a good deal right now. Just be patient with it. But we need to get more people involved in it. And you know, if you don't want to get involved as an investor, you could be involved as a Argentium jewelry collector. Like I said, they got these little chains that are like this thick. You know, they're not like thick like this. They're not big thick things like this. This ring is thick. You know, they don't do that. They don't do that with Argentium sterling silver for some reason. But if they did, and you start having all these people buy it up, and because, you know, one thing everybody hates about sterling is it tarnishes, right? Say, this stuff never tarnishes. And, you know, the one thing they hate about white gold is sometimes they have to put nickel in it, and it's toxic. And white gold is not as lustrous as Argentium sterling silver. No way. It's more money, too. And the other thing is, even with platinum, too. I mean, they'll coat it with rubidium or something like that or whatever. They'll do things. You got to restore that coating. I'm surprised these guys aren't pushing this idea because, you know, you don't want to screw anybody over. So if they buy the jewelry, they got it forever. Once you buy it, it's a one-time deal. And, you know, that's the whole point. It takes that much more silver off the market, which means there's that much less silver that, you know, maybe J.P. Morgan or Goldman Sachs or somebody else can hoard in the basement someplace under the New York, near in Chase, Manhattan, near the New York Federal Reserve. I don't know what the hell they got down there, man. They probably got loads of this stuff. Nobody knows, I think. I think they got loads of this stuff in secret, even though they tell everybody it's not the best thing in the world. Anyway, over and out. So marketing works. Marketing works. And, but it's got to be true advertising. Factual advertising, and right to the point where it's actually a product that will help people in the long run. And silver, and Argentium silver, is such a product. Now this sounds like a commercial, but I tell you, I ain't working for nobody. I ain't working for no silver people out there at all. Not at all. I'm just telling you right now that it's straight up. Keep with it. Don't get discouraged. And don't go hog wild into it 100% like these other guys have been said for the last several years. Don't keep any fiat cash, only keep silver. Don't do that. That's bad advice for any investment. Any investment. I don't give a damn how good it is, because nobody knows the future exactly. You know, in retrospect, some people that figure they think they knew the future, then they look like heroes, but nobody knows the future exactly. If you knew the future on investments, you could start with, no matter how small it is, you'd be the richest man in the world in a year or less than a year if you knew what the markets were going to do. Nobody knows. So you never, I just want to leave you with that, you never ever put all your eggs in one basket. Alright, that's enough of that. Over and out. And hopefully they'll come out with bigger jewelry, Argentium or sterling silver, like some thicker stuff. Take some of that stuff off the market. And people never lose out. Like I said, they keep it forever.